Will AI replace your job? Maybe not in title, but parts of your role are already disappearing. If you're the go-to person everyone leans on to fix issues and move things forward, you're not as safe as you think. You know the type, maybe it's even you. The go-to person who fixes everything, the indispensable one. And then somehow, they're the first to end up on the layoff list when things change. If this sounds like you, if your title doesn't say manager or director yet, you're in the right place. And this is bigger than just IT. McKinsey and other economists keep finding the same thing. AI is coming for tasks, not titles. In about 60% of the occupations, at least 30% of the activities are technically automatable. It is especially good at the routine work baked into most corporate roles. And if your day is spent pulling information together, formatting it, and responding to requests, you're exposed, even if your job sounds senior on paper. In this video, I'll show you 3 routine work patterns that quietly put your job at risk, and how to shift your time toward the kind of work AI still can't touch. In the end, I'll show you how to redesign your day so AI becomes your assistant and you become the person leaders call into the room when decisions are made. By the way, I'm Terry. I've led multi-million-dollar programs in corporate America. My goal is simple: help you see the parts of your role that are most exposed and give you tips on how to shift into work that AI can't easily replace. To do that, we need to look at how you actually spend your day, not just what your job title says. Let's talk about the 3 hidden work patterns. If this is where you spend most of your day, AI will happily replace big chunks of your job. The first one is what I call the Gopher. The Gopher spends most of their day responding to requests like, can you grab this data? Can you check the vendor? Can you hop on a quick call? Their calendar is full with other people's priorities. You're fast, reliable, and you're invisible when it comes to strategy. This is how you turn the Gopher work into the framing work. When you get a request, instead of just doing it, you pause and ask AI to help you frame it at a higher level. Open ChatGPT and ask it the following prompt. Summarize the business question behind this request. Suggest 2 or 3 strategic angles I can clarify with my manager. Then you go back to your manager and say, I got it. Just to align, are we trying to option A, reduce risk, or option B, speed up delivery? That'll change how I put this together. Why does this work? Leaders don't get promoted by running errands. They get promoted by shaping the problem. The more you reframe requests, the less you look like the runner and the more you look like a thought partner. That's how you protect yourself as simple errands get automated. The potential issue is initially, this can feel slower at first. People may think you're overcomplicating things. That's okay. You don't need everyone to love it. You just need 1 or 2 leaders to notice that you're the person who asks better questions. This shift in your line of sight positions you as someone who thinks before they execute. That's the person that gets pulled into earlier conversations when roles are being reshaped. If you're finding this helpful, I'd really appreciate you liking and subscribing so you let me and YouTube know this is valuable. The Synthesizer is the slide machine. You pull updates from 10 teams, cram everything into a deck, and hope it makes sense to leadership. You're the go-between, but most of your value is just rearranging other people's words. This is exactly the kind of work AI is already good at. This is how to use ChatGPT to step up instead of being replaced. Take the raw updates you'd normally paste into slides, then ask ChatGPT or any other large language model. Here are status updates from multiple teams. Summarize the 3 biggest risks and the 3 biggest decisions leadership needs to make. Format it as an executive summary. Now, you don't just send the deck. You lead with, here's a 1-page summary plus the 3 decisions we need from leadership this week. Why does this work? Executives don't value people who just summarize data. They value people who bring decisions, risks, and trade-off. You're letting AI do the grunt level work so you can step into the role of decision Sherpa, the human who transforms corporate noise into clear choices. That's much harder for AI to replace. Now, You may struggle with imposter syndrome. Maybe you think, who am I to tell them what decisions to make? You're not telling them the answer. You're putting the decisions on the table so they can do their job faster. You're helping them to see where their attention is actually needed so they can make informed decisions, and that's an AI-resistant skill. Now, the next one is the Standardizer. The Standardizer lives in processes, templates, and SOPs. You're the one updating checklists, maintaining Confluence pages, enforcing the way we do things. All of that is prime real estate for AI. It's structured, repeatable, and predictable. The exact kind of work that gets automated first. Start being the person who designs how the work should run. Take one process you own and ask ChatGPT, here's our current processes for X. Identify bottlenecks, risky handoffs, and steps that could be automated. Suggest a streamlined version and flag what leaders would care about in this redesign. Then you don't just send an updated SOP. You can have a conversation with your manager and say, I mapped all of our processes. Here's where we're bleeding time and risks. Here's a leaner version that saves us roughly X hours a month and reduces Y risk. Do you want me to pilot this with the team? Anyone can follow a checklist. Leaders redesign systems. You're using AI to do the mapping and options, so you can focus on owning the change. That moves you out of documenter territory and into change leader territory. Much harder for AI to replace. The point to be aware of is visibility. Once you propose changes, you're on the hook to lead them. That can feel scary if you're used to staying in the background. This is how you go from the person who updates the process to the person who made us faster and safer. Those are the stories that show up in promotion conversations and in conversations about who the company can't afford to lose. So now you've got a choice. Are you going to stay the person who keeps the lights on, or become the person who designs how the lights get turned on in the first place? Now you know how to spot the patterns that make you easy for AI to replace. Escaping them is step one. Step two is learning how to communicate so executives see your value. In the next video, I'm breaking down exactly how to write emails that executives actually read. I'll see you over there.